Mastro's tag team partner needs to be John Cena.
John Cena. You have a big mouth, John Cena.
There's this guy named Santino Marella. He was his shtick was that he was Italian, and he couldn't pronounce people's names.
Yeah.
So he'd be like, it's Rey Mysterio. It's Rey Mysterio.
And John Cena was
John Cena.
John
Like,
Cena.
he was being interviewed, and like he doesn't have an accent.
Yeah.
In
like,
real life
at all. And they were like, he's like, yeah, I still have people to this day. He goes, what's your like favorite moment? He's like, well, getting wrestlers to break was like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And he said that people still come up to him today, like 15 years later. They're like, me and my friends, we all still call him John Cena because of that.
Because of
that.
yes.
Yeah, because he's like, you have a big mouth, John Cena.
I would love nothing more than to shut it.
John Cena popping up in anything nowadays is amazing.
You can't see him.
He's so funny.
You can't see
him. You're
Dude,
right.
the amount of like how genuine that guy is
is
incredible. I've been listening to this. I think his name is Chris Van Fleet. He has a wrestling podcast, or it's not really. Yeah, it's wrestling. It's a wrestling podcast.
It's what it is.
But he was like on the fence of what he wanted to do with his life. He wanted to either become a wrestler or go into broadcasting. So he went into broadcasting and then ended up like he runs like wrestling stuff. Like he was like a ring announcer and like all this stuff. So he knows like all these guys, and he's had some really cool interviews with some people. And I listened to the John Cena one. I was totally gonna do it, just naturally say John Cena, but he was the John Cena one where they were at WrestleMania, and he told him like, you have like, I can give you like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, just listen to this interview and like how nice this guy is. So they keep going, and then he's like, yeah, I want to be respectful of your time. I'll let you get out of here. And he goes, no, you got some time. And he kept letting him go, and it was just
John Cena still being just like, no, let's keep let's keep talking. Okay.
Yeah, because the guy was saying like, I know you have to leave. I want to be respectful of your time. Like, I'll let you get out of here. Thank you so much. And he's like, no, you got some time. I'll tell you when. Like, you don't worry about it. Like, yeah. I got like he kept checking his phone, and I guess he was getting like messages and stuff. But it was cool. Like, it was really cool because he's like, this is how genuine this guy is.
The best John Cena interview is when he's being interviewed with that old British lady.
Yes.
She's like, my granddaughter told me I wouldn't be able to see you.
He's sitting down having tea with her.
He's like, oh, in my youth, I was a bit of a rabble-rouser. And I used to do this dance maneuver where I put my hand in front of my face and I said, you can't see me. But it really wasn't like that. It was kind of like, you can't see me. And then the grandma's like, you can't see me.
Yes.
And he's like,
oh, no, but she's into it.
He's like, I'm out of a job.
I love her enthusiasm, though. She's like, oh, wow, really? Yeah. I'm into it. All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of Nostalgialand. Thanks for joining us. As always, I'm Matt. This is Tyler and Trey.
What are deals?
In case you don't know what we do, we talk about everything 80s, 90s, and today. Magic 102.
Let's WMXJ.
That's too far. I don't remember that.
WMXJ. That's
okay. Well, yeah. So we are based here in South Florida. We're in the greater Miami area, I would say.
Can I be in the lesser Miami area?
Is there a less?
Can I be in the cooler Miami area?
The not so hot Miami area?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's the heat. I can feel it. Sorry.
Sunday was so incredible. I work at the restaurant, and I was working outside. Oh, my God. It was so hot. Yes. And we've been slow because it's been so hot and whatever. And then all of a sudden this Sunday was like, oh, guess what? You're going to get insanely busy.
Sunday, going fishing on the W.
I couldn't take a break. I couldn't go inside. Like everybody out that was outside, all the servers, everybody was just running as fast as we could. And like, we couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
It was because we were understaffed for the amount of people that showed up, but we've been like this for months, and we've had too many people working because it's just crazy how the restaurant industry works.
You never know what to predict.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when I got home at night, I realized that there was like, when you sweat and you get like the salt rings on the bottom of my shirt, like close to my waistline. That's how like my entire body was just covered. It was so freaking hot.
So lost a couple of good pounds there.
I thought you were gonna go. Gross.
Yeah, 100% is disgusting. But
No, I'm with you. I'm very like I appreciate sweating because I feel like I'm constantly sweating. Like if there was one cure I could do, it'd be like not sweat so much.
Oh yeah,
buddy.
I used to suffer from hyperhidrosis.
You did?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Back in the day.
Let's not gross it out right off the bat. More than we already have.
Yeah. So, anyways, we talk about everything 80s and 90s, and a little bit from there. I think the early 2000s. What would you say is the limit of like nostalgia? 20 years, 10 years,
Whatever I want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. There's no rules.
There's no.
Just right.
There's no rules.
I'm nostalgic for Deadpool, and I saw that last week.
Yeah.
I missed the time.
I missed
when
Mr.
I saw
Poole.
that. When I saw that last week. I'm already over.
Hey, you remember we went to the movies?
Yeah, remember that? Remember COVID?
But even still today,
Remember
going to the
how
movies.
good Warzone was during COVID?
Yes.
When everybody
God,
was
yeah.
playing?
Oh my God. Yes, I do.
Oh yes, that was good. Good times.
Never again.
Hopefully. Anyway, so this week we're doing, and it's. I was asking you guys earlier. I thought this was like in everyone's household.
No.
First time you guys have seen this one. This is like Labyrinth for me. This existed at my family's house on VHS in Missouri when we would go visit them. And it was Labyrinth and this movie, Time Bandits, from 1981, that for some reason they had on VHS. And I loved these movies because they're that dark fantasy, 80s like kind of aesthetic to it. And it's just, this rings home for me a lot. So out of just curiosity, initial reactions, what did you think of this?
What the hell? That was my initial reaction. Was what the hell?
So you did enjoy it, or was it like kind of?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like. I mean, I get how if I was younger, I probably would have really enjoyed.
If
this
you were
movie.
8, it'd be great. Yeah.
It's like the Page Master. When I first saw the Page Master, I was like, "This movie's freaking awesome." And then we did the Page Master, and I was like, "This movie's okay."
And I was like, man, this movie kind of sucks. But I like Time Bandits. I thought it was a good movie. I had never seen it. Or if I had, I didn't remember seeing it. I knew it was always around, and there was video games that I had played when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were correlated with the game or not. I mean, with the movie or not. But
There's a game called Time Bandits, but it came out in like the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, this was 81.
81, this movie. I definitely think there were games connected, but I don't remember them like so vividly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was good. It's long. It felt long. It's like 2 hours long.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
for a movie like this fantasy kind of adventure movie, that's a long time. And if they, which I wish they would do sometimes, but I know like the budgets and stuff, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. If they could take that movie and pump a today budget into it and make the same movie today with today's effects and everything, I think it'd be like so much easier to watch.
Buddy, have I got good news for you?
It's coming.
It's already here.
Oh yeah.
Apple TV has it, and it's with Phoebe from Friends.
Yeah, Phoebe's there. I saw some like when I was looking on YouTube.
It is a series remake of it, so it's episodic, and but it kind of it's on Apple TV, but it plays to the same narrative from the movie. So it's not like changing anything about that, but it's just changing some of the characters. Okay, and the main people in it aren't little people, but I think some of those people actually are in the film, are in the series. I think a couple of them who are still alive, because you got to. This was 45 years ago.
Yeah,
dude, that's hard to hear actually. But this was 1981, so it's 45 years ago.
44.
But Taika Waititi. Sorry, yeah, right.
Korg?
4. Yeah, Korg. Yeah, Taika Waititi brought it back. Hey man.
Well, it's good because I'm glad he did a much better job than he did with Love and Thunder.
He did a great job with Ragnarok.
Ragnarok,
fantastic job. And then he phoned in Love and Thunder like it was going out of style.
Hey man,
which is rough. Which I think it was because he was working on.
I think he just didn't care.
Well, yeah, because he was working on
He's like, I'm kidding.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Siwa?
No, yeah, she needs to work on Jojo Siwa.
Somebody does.
Somebody, please. There's actually a clip from when she was a kid, and this mom like calls out like, "Hey, because her daughter was getting cut from the team or something like that. And she goes on this rant about JoJo and JoJo's mom. And she's like, when JoJo grows up, she's not going to know who she is or what she's supposed to do with her life or her talent. She's going to be all over the place, and you're going to have a train wreck of a person. And guess what?
You nailed it, buddy.
I can see the future. Right on the head.
I can see the future.
I think she's a witch. She's a witch. Might be a witch.
She's a witch.
Yeah, she's a witch.
Or she's just really good at reading the room.
Yeah.
I thought this was, and since it's British,
yes.
You got to have like a special kind of view on the world to really enjoy British comedy and British movies and British film. Terry Gilliam is the writer,
who's the quieter of the Monty Pythons.
Yeah,
of the Pythons.
But he's made some, and he loves super weird. Like if you've ever seen the movie Brazil. You understand who Terry Gilliam is.
I just was reminded today of that, actually.
It is a fucking weird movie.
I gotta see it.
It's good, but it's weird. Yeah. Like, you gotta really appreciate the weird.
You guys are gonna make me watch Brazil.
I mean, I liked it, but it is very strange. It's a very strange movie.
And Terry Gilliam, so in the Monty Python crew, he was the artist. He's the guy who comes up with all the cut animation, like all the planets like in Monty Python, or when they go in the cave of or something like that. He animates the monster, and then when he goes, luckily though, the animator had a heart attack at that moment, so we could finish the scene, and it just cuts to like 2 clips of him going, and then he falls over. And he's Patsy. So in the opening with the coconuts, he's the guy who's clinging the coconuts together. But Terry Gilliam, he's so quiet, and then you find out that him and Terry Jones are these amazing visionaries who are the ones who really found the aesthetic for Monty Python, Holy Grail, Life of Brian, and then movies like this, like Brazil and Time Bandits. And
it's part of a trilogy supposedly that he wrote.
I didn't realize that.
I can't remember the name of the third one, but it's like the Time Bandits is when you're a kid. Brazil is when you're kind of like a middle-aged adult, and then the third one, you could look it up online, but like it's when you're an older, like you're in the twilight of your life and whatever, but. It had a very, like, this was a precursor kind of to The Princess Bride.
Oh yeah,
like that kind of feel, that fantasy, like feel to it. Now The Princess Bride just crushes it, like
with humor,
just crushes
action.
It.
Yeah.
Well, we need to cover that movie because that movie is so wonderful.
Comes in,
but I liked in this movie especially how they don't do a shitload of explaining to you.
Yeah, they
just kind of let you.
Generous. I don't do it.
They do. Like if you listen to the dwarves, if you listen to the little people, the Time Bandits, so the movie starts where the kid is with his parents who are just horrible people.
Piece of parents.
All they're into is keeping up with the Joneses and being better than the Joneses.
Yes.
And game show.
Yeah, and that weird British game show.
It's your money or your life.
Yeah, your money or your life.
We're going to dip you in custard.
Yeah.
That's so British.
And they drown this guy. Yeah. Custard it's a funny word for them British.
Yeah. And like they hang people, and it's like it's really so British. So British.
And it's Terry Gilliam's odd, like everything is in a way Terry Gilliam looks at everything like this is supposed to be a normal thing, but there's something kind of morbid and like kind of weird, like off-putting about what's going on. Yeah. And so like you're saying, the mom and the dad are both really obsessed about
Stay Tuned.
Yes.
With John Ritter.
Yes, where they get sucked into the
satellite dish.
Yes, in satellite.
Have you ever seen it? We're going to do that movie. You should see that movie. Yeah. It's not the greatest movie, but it's super entertaining. You'll like it.
That's kind of in that horror realm.
Yes, but
come and knock on our
with
door.
Death involved.
Have you seen Multiplicity?
Yes.
It's not like Multiplicity.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
I was going to say that's a great movie.
Yeah. In fact,
come on up, Passion of the Christ.
It's not
like
that.
With Jim Caviezel, the guy from the first one.
That one.
Yes.
Just forget everything you know about Multiplicity and just watch Stay Tuned.
But
you're crazy, Jesus. You're crazy.
You're crazy.
Yeah. So the parents tell him to go to bed.
Yeah.
He's this poor kid. He's reading like these
history books.
Yeah.
He's like, did you know the Greeks have 30 different ways they were trained to kill a man?
He's
with their
reading
bare
about
hands?
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Right? Agamemnon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. King Agamemnon from the Greek. And he turns around and he's trying to like engage his parents in conversation about this historical stuff.
Hey, first of all, I'm reading.
And they're like, get out.
Yes. Go to bed, Junior.
Yeah. So go in there, turn the lights off, go to bed. He's like, oh, fine, whatever.
All right.
And he goes up and he's in bed. He's falling asleep. And his wardrobe busts open. And a knight on a horse in full armor comes charging through his bedroom and just kind of disappears through the wall.
Yeah, he just kind of, he launches through the wall, which then opens up into this, like, basically, have you ever taken a lot of NyQuil and a shot of whiskey before bed?
No.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Because these are the kind of dreams you're going to get. You're going to be hit really hard with medieval lore. And then
have you ever had a surgery?
Yeah.
Just taking a bunch of pain medication?
When they tell you to count backwards from 100 and you get to about 97.
You get to about,
you're like, man, these pain meds never work on me, 98.
I don't think it's working. How do you feel?
Welcome to the recovery room. What?
Yeah. So this is weird. Like, he is freaked out.
As
like you do. And then the next night, I guess he's excited to go back and like
he wants to go back to bed.
Yeah,
he's like, I gotta get back in
and
bed.
they're like, you got to eat your dinner.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't. Fine. Eats his food real fast.
Like, I can go down.
He grabs a flashlight.
You have to let it go down first.
Oh yeah, they make him
make him sit around a little while.
Wait, what do you mean? That's swimming. Like, I don't have to. What am I going to cramp in my bed?
Gonna jump in the bed?
Reflux. You reflux.
Yeah, you're going to get reflux.
I guess so. Yeah,
that's a good point.
I can't eat and go to bed right away. You're right. Yeah. This poor kid though, he really was.
You fast forward to the movie. So.
Whatever's
playing
the
background.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there was like shit flying super fast, and the girl's like, like walking. I'm like, whoa. But so he goes to bed and he takes a flashlight
and a camera.
And a camera. That's what it was. I was like, there's something else that he takes. But he takes the camera and he's hoping to see something.
Yeah.
And he just ends up falling asleep. Nothing happens.
He is,
And then he's asleep when the wardrobe opens again and you hear like a bunch of voices and a bunch of noise and he's still sleeping, and then it opens up and it's 6 little people.
Yes.
It's the Time Bandits.
I think this movie was where my love of little people in movie and like,
how do you not love little people?
And like being like, but they didn't do like little people gags.
No,
like
they were just
like
people.
Yes, they were just people.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, they're smaller
Willow.
stature. We're aware of that.
Yeah.
We all see it. We all see it.
It's like those commercials where he's like,
Trying not to be your dad.
I'm here to help people from turning into their parents. And the person walks in with blue hair and he's like, we all see it.
We all see it. We all see it. And it's like, yes, that's it. But then you don't really point out, you're like, you're really short.
Yeah.
Like every movie, every scene they're in is like, that's a little person thing. They're really short. Like you wouldn't walk up to Danny DeVito and disrespect this man like that. You just say, hey, Danny, it's great to meet you.
Yeah.
Right? And you move on. And
Mr. DeVito, excuse me. Mr. DeVito.
Mr. DeVito. Apologies.
You shake his giant
Well,
hands.
he has a life-size cutout. He might be on a first-name basis.
That's true. He bought it.
I might know him
It's
like that.
It's like Tony is on a first-name basis with George Clooney because he spent years on the back of his bathroom door.
He's the only one who thinks that Batman movies.
Batman Forever. Tony loves.
Not Batman Forever.
Isn't it
Batman
Forever?
and Robin.
Yeah,
Batman Forever is Val Kilmer.
That's right. Yeah.
That movie's halfway decent.
It's much better than Batman and Robin.
There's watchable and then there's tolerable. It's a fine line.
And both of those are pretty much neither.
Well,
but anyway.
So when you were watching this movie, how many times did you get through it? Was it one? Because I got through it maybe one and a half.
I saw it at least twice, maybe 3 times.
Okay.
I watched a lot of review videos.
Yeah.
Where they would 2 hours is a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, and we normally decide like the week before.
Yeah.
And I got 2 movies to prep for the next show, for the next recording. So it's tough when the movies are that long to.
Because I noticed the second time around watching it is they follow the kid up the stairs and the camera's like right behind him. So you're the observer. You're in line with whatever he's seeing. The second night he goes up and he's getting the flashlight, he's trying to prepare himself to see weird shit that comes out of his wardrobe. It pans to a mirror. And I heard one guy say it was like, oh, this kind of like him, like Alice in Wonderland. Like
you're
Alice
through the looking
through
glass.
the looking glass kind of situation, because when you pan, we're no longer like buckle up. We're going on a ride because you're no longer in the
like
same
we've
reality.
stepped out of.
Yeah, we stepped out of it. We're in Wonderland.
Submitted for your approval.
Yes. Which Halloween season's coming up. We definitely need to do some Twilight and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Submitted
dude.
for your approval.
Maybe the Twilight movie. There was a Disney one about the Tower of Terror. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they made like.
And there's the Twilight Zone movie.
And then there's the
or
Twilight
you
Zone
could
movie.
just
Yeah.
do your favorite
There's
episode of the Twilight Zone.
something on the wing.
One of the thing. As you're saying.
Yeah, and when they come out of the wardrobe, he turns on his and he wakes up. He turns on his flashlight, and they freak.
Yes.
They freak, and they're hiding in the corners.
Yeah.
And they've got like
The one with the machine gun?
yeah, they shooting
And he,
off
like-
stuff,
and he,
which
like-
was weird because when the first night when the night came out,
The dad was like,
yeah, he
"Hey,
came
clear
in.
all that noise there. I told you
Yeah, he
to
was
wait.
screaming about the noise.
Trying to watch TV."
And I
That's
kept
because-
waiting the first time I saw it for the dad to come barging in.
Right, yes.
Because they fired a machine gun off in the room.
That
but
just
never
doesn't go
happened.
unnoticed.
Yeah, it never happened.
That's because we're in Wonderland.
Yeah, now we've gone through the looking glass.
We're detached completely. So these little people come out and they jump him basically when they find out that he's not God.
Yeah.
Looking for his
Because
map.
that's what, well,
Yeah.
The Supreme Being.
The Supreme Being. But they
Who
do
is
say
God?
Zordon?
Who's God?
they never really throw the name God down, do they?
Trick question. Ditka is God.
Ditka is God. But, yeah, so they go to the same wall where the horse went through, and they realize that they can push it back.
It's so trippy.
They start pushing the wall, and Kevin is the kid's name.
Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin. Ah. So he's trying to, like, where are you guys going? What's going on? Like, who are you people? Where did you come from? Can't you just go back the way you came? And they're like, no, we can't. Like,
Kill
what
him.
you can't?
And then they're like, kill him.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And then the Supreme Being shows up, who is the way he revealed is as a giant floating head.
Yeah,
Zordon.
He's Zordon.
Like, he's Zordon. Or I was thinking, what's his name? You just posted Phil Collins. I think it's like Phil Collins from Something in the Air Tonight.
Oh.
That's right. I can feel it coming, because that's the way this head looked.
And
to
my
me.
favorite part.
Yeah. Because his two options are A, stay put with the floating head and let the little people run down this hallway that just turned out of your wall.
You're right.
Or go with them.
Go with them.
And quite frankly, I don't blame him. I like his choice.
6 people with machine guns were terrified enough to run away and push a wall into
Run
a
away
huge
from
hallway.
Yes.
And Trey's over here watching the roll.
I saw
Watching the rumble.
came in.
This dude loved.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, just trying to get his attention back. Like, hey, yeah. Then they drop right into Napoleonic history.
France, yeah.
Napoleonic France.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, that was the most confusing part to this movie. Was like, there's no explanation. There's nothing.
No.
They talk about it a little bit.
They run down the weird hallway.
After it passes, after you get this whole scene with Napoleon sitting there
Watching puppets.
Yeah, he's loving the puppets.
Yes.
He loves small things.
They jump really heavy in this. Terry Gilliam really jumped on him being self-conscious about his height.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say it, but in history, in fact, he's not short.
Yes.
Like, he was average for his, like,
In fact, a little tall for most people.
I don't know
of
where
his
like
time.
the whole Napoleon complex thing came from, but it's not a real thing.
It was just to demean and make him look smaller and be
Yeah,
like,
I guess
he's
so.
just a little angry
It's like
man.
propaganda against him.
Yeah, it's just to make him, But it was but they're at the battle at Castiglione.
Yeah.
Is it? And so the little people are
Battle
just
of Casterly Rock.
Yeah, Castiglione Rock.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
Castle Rock sounds cooler anyway.
It does, honestly.
And then you end up figuring out through all of this that the little people are time bandits.
Yeah.
Well,
They
that's
have
what they call
they have a map that they stole from the Supreme Being because they worked for the Supreme Being.
They're actually tree makers.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they're
Way back during creation.
garden makers.
Yes.
They're garden gnomes.
Didn't you notice? I thought it was a callback to Monty Python. That the knight that comes out of the wardrobe, he had little horns on his helmet, and I swore it was like a Knights of Me thing.
Yeah, the Knights of St. Knee.
Yes, we demand a shrubbery. With a little path, not too expensive.
I only would have known Monty Python as if he came out with like no arms and legs.
It's merely a flesh wound.
Is
No,
but
it
the
isn't.
scratch.
Your arm's off. No, it
Yes.
isn't.
No, is it?
This movie is so in that vein of Monty Python
Mankind.
humor. Yeah, Mankind.
So do love and mankind.
Of Monty Python,
Same guy.
Monty Python humor, where they over explain in a lot of ways, and they're so technical about what they talk about, and there's humor.
Oh,
in
he
that.
talks about that map for a little while.
Yeah, and but Michael Palin, who helped write it with Terry Gilliam, and John Cleese is in it too.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only person I thought was maybe in it was the guy who sings "Always Look on the Bright Side." I'll look him up. But anyways,
you would know their names better.
they're
I know
in
Cleese and I
France.
remember Terry Gilliam, but the other Python names, I don't know.
I knew one guy in this movie, and it's Agamemnon.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get. To
But
him.
it's
He'll
interesting.
tell
An interesting fact about this movie is that Time Bandits Gilliam wrote it out of desperation. He wanted to make Brazil, and he needed money. And
Oh, really?
So he wrote this movie to try and get money so that he could like live and make Brazil. Yeah, like he said, because they asked him in an interview, they were like, well, so what brought on Time Bandits? And he said desperation.
yeah.
And they're like, oh,
Money.
all right. Yeah, he's like, I needed money. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Right on.
Money.
But,
Money mud.
Money.
yeah.
Yes.
So basically the Time Bandits stole this map from the Supreme Being, God, and it shows where like they rushed. They only had 7 days. They talk about how they only had 7 days to make the world, and it was kind of rushed. So there's these holes in time. And
In reality.
Yeah,
Yes.
in reality.
Yeah.
And the map shows them where the holes are, and they can use that to shoot through time into different places. And they can't really control where it goes, but they can do it. And they use this to be bandits, to be thieves. They just want to go steal
Just want
gold.
to be stinking rich.
Yeah, stinking
They
rich.
just want to be stinking rich.
There's a few famous little people.
Kenny
that are in
Baker.
this. Yeah, and everybody's favorite Yoda is who's Matt's talking about.
R2D2. Sorry. Kenny Baker
Yes.
was
Excuse me.
R2D2.
Excuse me,
Yes.
R2D2.
He was
Excuse me.
R2D2.
Rootin'
Yeah.
tootin' bleeping and blooping.
He,
right.
he plays Fidget and the poor character
Yes.
at the end.
Yes.
Stop.
He just gets
In
crushed.
the worst way I've seen it in a minute.
They're like, Fidget,
No. But I mean, a lot of these, so there's Fidget, Strutter, Og, Wally, Vermin, and then Kevin. And the one that played
Kevin's the human.
Kevin!
Regular
Yeah,
guy.
Kevin's the
They're human, dude.
And Rudolph is is it Rudolph?
people. Randall.
Randall. He's the head. He's the lead.
David Rappaport, and he played, and they're all great though.
Yeah.
Like it's hard, I guess, in some similar, like, to get past like the fact that they're little people, but they were amazing like actors, and they were so fun as a part of this. Like they just played on each other, and it felt real. It felt dirty. It felt lived in the same way. Like it didn't feel like they were trying to recreate Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Right.
You know, like, oh, this one's bubbly, and so we wanna, let's all sing a song. But they do. But it's in its own way. It plays to the story. It makes sense. So they go and they meet Napoleon.
Yeah.
And Napoleon's loving that they're small.
Yeah.
He loves small
Loves it.
things.
And he ends up
Yeah.
firing his generals and making
These are my new generals.
that guy is a famous actor who like they had a couple of guys that came in just for these moments, these like to play Napoleon, and then you're gone from the movie, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
Ian Holm.
Yeah, he's
Ian
so
Holm.
funny.
Yes.
He plays it so well. And basically what happens, he's watching the puppet show. And the troupe that's putting on the puppet show ends, and they're like, "Okay, we have more
Someone
things to
shoots
show
him.
you."
He gets shot.
Yeah,
What?
Like a stray bullet or
because
something.
there's a huge
Yeah.
battle going on outside.
It's still going on.
Yeah, but you figure you wouldn't let him shoot Napoleon's room.
Whatever.
Yeah. So then the director of the show is like, he's he's trying to kill himself because he figures out like if I don't put on a good show, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. But he starts calling out all these acts, and all of them like are on stilts and stuff. They're huge.
And he's like, they're freaks.
Yeah, he's like, they're freaks. He's like, no. Napoleon's like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
He's pissed off about it.
Cue in the little people.
Yeah, well then out comes the Time Bandits.
He's like beat the crap out of each other.
He loves it, and then so it cuts away, and it's behind the curtain and everything. And literally, the director pulls out a gun and puts it to his head.
He's wrapping his head in the noose
at the same time.
Yeah,
and Napoleon comes back and he's like, "That was wonderful! Like, I love it!" And then that's when he promotes all the Time Bandits to his generals.
Yeah,
and they're sitting at his table.
Yeah.
And he's like, Alexander the Great. And he's like, he was 5'1".
Yeah, he starts naming.
He goes,
starts rambling off how everybody in history was so short.
Yeah.
Yes, shorter than him.
And then he falls asleep.
Yeah, too much wine will do that.
Mid ramble.
Makes you tired. I'm a little tired.
Okay,
well, have a nap.
And then they steal all his crap.
Yeah, including the Mona Lisa.
That's their thing. Yeah. That's what they do.
But the tapestry, that's ancient. Take it. Rip it off the wall.
Yeah. And they're all now in the general's
outfits,
general garb.
The general garb. And the other two guys have no clothes.
Yeah.
They're just in long underwear.
They made the other generals. Yeah, they got demoted. So now when the Time Bandits come out in the courtyard, everyone's
no, and they tell them like about face.
Yes,
so they look the other way.
To these,
so that they can walk out with all the stuff. Like,
So they escape, they make it through, and they jump through another portal. Well, it takes them to the Middle Ages, and that's when you get Randall, who's showing the map, and he does the whole explanation.
Yeah,
but it's 20 minutes, maybe 30 into the movie.
Yeah, the very first time when I watched it, I was like, "What in the hell is going on?"
It's a completely different style of filmmaking.
Yeah. I thought I was waiting for Gwildor.
Somebody.
Like, he made that. It's the key. They're using the cosmic key.
They are. It's the cosmic key. Well, like they don't really like. I kind of enjoy it though because it's like nowadays you watch movies and like the first 20 minutes they're trying to tell you the rules.
Yeah,
like we're morons. Like we're the dumbest things available on the earth, and they're just trying to explain. Here's how everything works and why you shouldn't be upset if something's not like perfect.
There's that old saying, hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times make weak men. It works in entertainment, in life, in war, everything.
Sometimes not all pee-pee times are poo-poo times.
But all poo-poo times are pee-pee times.
But it's funny because in Deadpool, like when stuff like that happens, he's like, that's a lot of exposition there, buddy.
At least I like it how he turns to the camera. He's like, got it. Are we all clear? All good? Okay, great. Because Terry Gilliam doesn't give a shit about what you understand or don't understand.
Like in the new one, when you see
buckle up, we're going on a ride.
When you see the character with the accent, and he's like, "Can we get somebody else in here?" You're like, "We're missing really good exposition here."
Go see Deadpool.
Yeah, go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine. Yeah. Anyway, so they're now in the Middle Ages, and this is where Michael Palin and Shelley Duvall show up.
Are playing Prince John and...
Is it John?
No, they're not.
They're just
playing a random couple.
They're just people.
They never explain who they are, but they keep showing up
in time.
Yes. And it's always the same situation where they're madly in love with each other, or especially he's madly in love with her, and it doesn't work out. And for some reason or another.
Talking about his problem.
Yes, that's it. Yes,
like his dick doesn't work.
Something about it. Yes,
his wang does not come to the party.
He cannot salute the new generals.
Yeah, he doesn't have the little blue pills.
No, something about it is like that's such Monty Python humor, where it's like, yeah, that's for the adults because he keeps she keeps asking me like, and your little you don't have to wear the thing anymore, and then like later they get robbed. They get robbed, and you find out it's by Robin Hood and his merry men.
That's why I thought it was Prince John.
Oh, okay, yeah,
right.
But they're tied up
on the tree.
And Michael Palin's character goes, "Uh-oh, my problem is here. I need fruit immediately." And you're just, what?
Yeah,
what is this problem? Like,
he has scurvy.
Yeah, something about it is
he needs lemons and limes.
He needs a lot of
give him a lot of oranges.
A lot of sugar.
Give him a lot of oranges.
Like
vitamin C.
Yeah,
vitamin C.
Something to fix.
You want to hear an interesting fact?
Any guesses from a medical perspective?
Impotence.
Yeah,
that's what my guess was. But an interesting fact about this: Shelley Duvall had a rough time of it when making these movies, where she's in The Shining and Kubrick basically abused her to drive her insane.
Oh, that is the lady from the show.
Yes. Shelley.
And then in this movie, they're in the forest where they come crashing down and falling through everything.
Yeah.
And Terry Gilliam gets out there and it's like, no. They had like scaffolding. They were supposed to like jump off in the woods. And he's like, no, you got to do it like this. And he jumps and he lands on Shelley Duvall's head.
Dude.
and nearly breaks her neck. Like,
Poor woman.
yeah. Like,
This is pre-Shining, though, right?
God.
no, this is,
81. This is before The Shining.
I think it was after. But I'm not sure.
It's just after. Shining was 79, I think. Or 80.
I thought it was like 83.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. But yeah, Shelley Duvall, that poor woman, she
It's like just
so
gets her ass whipped.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Just trying to make movies, just get her ass.
What do you do for a living? I get my ass
I mean,
whipped.
she's been in so many good, like, fun films, and like she plays her part. Yeah, it was 80 for The Shining.
Oh.
She plays her part so well, but then life has kicked her so hard.
Yeah,
in
well,
the
she's gone now.
Oh
R.I.P.
gosh, dude.
Rip.
It
R.I.P.
was so. Oh yeah. All right. Rest in peace.
Spectacles, testicles,
power.
wallet, and watch.
Yeah. So they meet Robin Hood, and this scene was so Monty Python.
Before we move on to Robin
Okay,
Hood, because we
yeah.
have to give Robin Hood his time.
John Cleese.
Something that was super funny from behind the scenes was when they did the Napoleon scene. Terry Gilliam was there for the filming, and he had to walk off set because he could not stop laughing, and he was ruining the takes. I thought that was funny that he was like, "Oh, this is it. This is what I wanted."
Yes.
Exactly.
I wrote this.
I'll
This is
crack
me.
myself up,
Yes.
thank you.
Damn, this is good stuff.
Yeah, dude. I love this one guy who he worked with the Beatles. Actually, he did their
George Harrison?
Not George Harrison. No,
You know
George
the connection?
Yes, he did work on this movie. He's the producers for
Happy Hands or Helping Hands or Healing
something.
Hands.
Was
Or,
it Ringo?
One of those.
no.
No.
So this movie wouldn't have been made without George Harrison.
Monty Python too, man.
No, he was talking about one like somebody with the Beatles.
Oh.
I threw out another guess.
Oh, yeah.
Ringo.
Gotcha.
It's always
My bad.
Ringo.
Very good, Ringo.
Yes.
I got to put this on the fridge.
Super,
isn't that
super
lovely?
underrated drummer.
Yes. Oh, amazing though. Oh shit! I completely lost my train of thought. Of that
You were
one.
saying the Beatles?
The Beatles, Terry Gilliam,
One of the people that
and-
helped the Beatles.
So one of the the producers, studio guys who's worked with a lot of people, and he's in a couple documentaries with them. But he's like, I don't make music for other people to like it. I make it
because I like
it, and I feel like that's what Terry Gilliam, when he writes and did these movies, he wrote it for him to make these jokes funny for him.
100%.
And I think that story proves it, because I believe in that, and I feel like we would get so much more original movies and stories like Time Bandits nowadays if we weren't so
You're not pandering
concerned
to an audience
about the pandering. And that's all we'll say about that, because we can talk for hours.
I mean, for sure.
We should
and it
definitely
shows
do
up in everything, and with the wrestling going on, like what I was talking about the last episode with John Cena, like he was a nothing and a nobody, and they were having trouble getting him over, as they call it in wrestling, where you become popular until he started being himself. Like, same thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, you see Stone Cold now, he is that guy.
Yeah.
He's a lot nicer. Like, he's a very nice guy, according to anybody they interview, anybody that talks about him.
Yeah.
But they're playing these parts, and like the Undertaker, like he was the Undertaker, and it's like you don't become famous like that until you embody that role.
Yeah.
And like great music comes like, and especially for musicians, like you have to tour, play the same songs every night.
Play the same song.
Yes, you better like that music.
You better like what you're singing. 'cause,
Exactly.
I mean, Taylor Swift doesn't complain. So
No.
she must enjoy every song that she's ever
Seriously.
written. All
That
three of
money
them.
doesn't help. I mean, doesn't hurt either.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I was funny. Today I was at Target, and if our good friend Tony was going to join us tonight, I had actually a gift I was going to give to him. It's a Taylor Swift coloring book.
Nice.
And that was just going to be his consolation prize for joining us, for giving us the time. So, Tony, you missed out. You're not getting it until you're here.
Maybe next time, maybe
Messed
not.
up, brother. You got to be here for the ride. You got to be here for the prize, for the ride. Anyways, so he's with Robin Hood, John Cleese.
Yes, now we move on to what is
plays it
possibly
perfectly.
the funniest part of the entire movie.
Yes, yeah.
I never would have guessed. I never in a million years would have thought of going this way with this, where they come in and Robin Hood's gang is dirty and grimy, and they look like criminals.
intimidating.
They look like thugs and thieves, and they're like just nasty. And the time bandits are all excited because they're like, "You're thieves, we're thieves," and they look the same. Like, they're just little. And then out comes Robin Hood, and they're like, "Oh, it's Robin Hood! Oh my gosh,
so posh."
He's spotless.
Yeah.
Yes.
In his like Halloween costume,
green hat.
yeah, pointed with like a feather coming out of it and everything, and everything. He's like so sweet, and he's like so kind, and like, "Oh, so you guys are thieves? Brilliant, wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Great to meet you.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
How long have you been thieving?
Yes.
Oh, 20 years. Oh, that's incredible. That's amazing.
And when he can't understand one of his own merry men, and like somebody has to translate.
Like, what did you say? All right.
That is so funny too, where they're like taking all of the time bandits' loot,
Their loot from
and they're
France,
passing it on to the poor people.
Yes.
And every person he gives stuff to, the guy punches him in the face. And he says,
"Old man,
is
scared of him.
that really necessary?"
Yeah.
And he says, "So I was over there." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, he says, "Unfortunately, yes."
Yes.
He's like, "Okay," and they keep going, punch him in the face. Like, what is that? Well,
Keep
what
going.
is that? and then like he says all this wonderful stuff to the time bandits, and they leave. And then he's like, "Those dirty," like what he says some like horrible stuff about
Disgusting.
us.
Right?
They're all disgusting.
Things.
I thought that was so funny. That whole scene was, I'm like, I was totally taken off guard by that. It's probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, John Cleese is honestly, he shows up anywhere. He's my favorite part of the movie too. Yeah.
Other than evil,
Other than
because evil is killer.
Yeah, so the whole time you find out that there is evil, and there's the good, and there's the evil, and
The
there's
supreme power and
there's
the evil.
Yes, and the evil. That's all he is, and he has like henchmen. Benson is one of them, and they're all like hilarious. But
Yeah.
you have to. It's British humor, so you have to listen to the conversation.
Yeah.
and when you listen to the conversation, you get the jokes.
Exactly.
So it's not slapstick. Oh, this thing farted, and oh yeah, funny, and we move on.
No, you have to be paying attention.
You got to pay attention to the jokes because some of it was absolutely hilarious. How they're like, he's like, "I'll have to punish you later." Like evil to Benson. He's like, "Benson, I'll have to punish you later." And he's like, "Oh, thank you, my lord."
Very
He's
good,
like,
sir.
I will. I'll turn you inside out very slowly. He's like, "Oh well, good on, all right." So it just keeps going. Like it's a good thing. Like it's the pleasure pain thing from Pinhead.
Yeah.
Or what's that? Hellraiser. Sorry, is that
Yeah.
right? Hellraiser.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where Pinhead's from.
Yeah. Anyway, so the evil
You find
now,
out that they're being watched in the magic water dish.
they're being watched, and evil realizes they have the map. They have the map that
No,
for some
not
reason.
evil. It's his like minion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Benson.
It's like,
Benson
look,
noticed it.
Look.
Yes, that they have the cosmic map that allows, and they
And
do
he's
this
caught
great.
in the castle of eternal darkness. or-
Yes, yeah.
And
And
then
he's,
they talk about like, what does he say? Like, if he
why
made,
don't you break out?
well, if the supreme power made everything, doesn't that mean he made you?
Yes.
He's like, yeah. He's like, yes, but I'm all powerful. He's like, well, if you're so powerful, then why do you stay in your here in this castle?
And,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
he just deletes that guy.
Just starts
Yeah.
exploding
Just
people.
deletes that guy.
And then he's like, he raises a good point. And it was like,
It's a good question, actually.
I forget what movie it's from now. Just keep going. I'll try to think of it.
Well, he says he's like, the reason I stay here is to lure the supreme being into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
So that I can then lash out and
That's right.
rain my evil
Well, and
upon
his-
creation.
And his big thing is to get the knowledge of computers, because once he knows
Some
computers,
technology.
he knows the world. I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of fits.
he's not right. He's not wrong.
And
Not
as the
right.
computers
Yeah, not
and
right,
like
not wrong.
evil seems to be picking up steam here as we go.
So a lot of people in Power Bus will watch this movie and thought that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they create like the storm, and he's gonna like guide them where he wants them to go.
Yeah. Well, first they get what is it? So they're running away. The Supreme Being finds them again in Robin Hood's in Robin
Give
Hood's
back what
thing.
you have stolen.
And it's the Phil Collins head chasing him. And two portals open up because they're one, and like Kevin is alone by himself. And Kevin's like, which one do I go through? And Randall's like, just pick one.
Yeah.
And then he picks one. And
then, not that one.
Not that one. And then we fall into
Ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece? Is it
Ancient
Greece? Okay, yeah.
Where he's fighting like a half pig man.
Made thing.
Well, it's it's like some kind of horned.
He's fighting like a centaur.
Yeah, so it looks like a minotaur, but it's a real head.
A minotaur.
Because it's got Oh, bless my stars, a minotaur. But it's got the skull showing out of it and everything.
Yeah.
And the it's like a Greek guy with a helmet on, and they're fighting back and forth, and the Greek guy gets knocked to the ground.
And he's gonna lose.
And he is gonna get killed. And Kevin falls from the sky. It's
Kevin!
just Kevin.
Yeah.
Because the time bandits don't end up with him.
No. They go through a different portal. Yeah.
And he lands on the Greek guy, and it kind of like stumbles back the Minotaur a little bit, and it gives him just enough time to pick up the head of the spear and throw it, and he stabs him in the stomach.
Yeah.
And he ends up winning because of it.
Yeah.
And the funny part was in the script when Gilliam and his co-writer were writing together, they wrote in the script, and the Greek warrior takes off his helmet to reveal Sean Connery.
Yeah, or someone who looks like
Sean Connery. Or a
cheaper
version who looks like Sean Connery.
Yes, yeah.
And I guess it was one of the Pythons was playing golf with Connery.
No.
And was like, hey, he's got this script. Terry's doing this movie. He's got this script. And he's like, oh, well, let me read it. So he reads it, and he decides he wants to do it. So takes off his helmet, and it's fucking Sean Connery.
So this movie goes from like C-list guy, B-list guy. It's Sean Connery.
Yeah. And this was like the height of like 007.
Sean Connery. Yeah.
Yeah, you're really bad at that.
I'm not good at that at all.
If you guys could call me out on being really bad at stuff, I could call you out too.
Why do you hate me so? Now it's sounding more
some
like
things in here don't react well to bullets.
Morgan Freeman.
Red October.
You're pretty good at that.
Standing by.
Red October. Standing by.
Red October. Standing by.
See,
Be careful. Some things in here don't react well to bullets.
I've worked on my voice too much. Anyways. So he's playing King Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Yes, please pronounce it right. We've seen several people.
He plays King Abracadabra.
Yeah, some of the reviewers, it's like, guys, it's a historical figure. Ask Siri to say it.
Please ask Siri.
Don't listen to me.
So, and he like takes a liking to Kevin, and like immediately
saved his life.
Yeah, saved his life. Why not? Takes a liking to him, and is like, okay, you're now a part of my kingdom. Mm-hmm. You're just gonna be my son.
You're now Swab.
And eventually, Swab.
That's
you're
right.
Swab.
You are Swab.
And eventually, they find Sean some pants.
Yeah,
because there's a reveal section there. Hold on, Shawnee. Yeah, that's a little much. This is PG.
Get you some pants, bro.
Well, he's Scottish, so kilts are kind of.
I guess so, but there's some tidy whities appearing in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so he names. It's like the morning of names Kevin. This is my heir of Mesopotamia.
Sure.
Anyways, and he's like, let the banquet begin.
Great.
People come in, they start dancing. All of a sudden, it's the time bandits again. And they kidnapped Kevin. Well, Kevin was happy.
He wanted to stay there.
To be there. Like,
Agamemnon was his boy. He was like, this guy is treating me like I'm his kid.
Like a child.
He's my dad, and I'm his son.
He's gonna teach me to sword fight.
Yeah,
he's gonna teach me to ride horses.
I liked how they did that, where he says like, he teach me how to sword fight, and he shows him the magic trick instead, and he's like, learn how to use this over that, like first. Like, oh, okay, cool. That's good lessons.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, okay, Pops.
I'm there for that.
Yeah, you gonna teach me to sword fight or not?
Yeah. This won't help me if some guy's stabbing me in the ass.
Yeah, if they stab me in this, I can't use this.
As a PG movie, watching some of these scenes, like we're like, like stabbing and like cutting and some of the fight, I was like, dude, this is PG. This is close to Gladiator.
You know what it was?
Russell Crowe.
We talked about this.
Yes, we did.
Before there was only PG and R. There was no PG-13, so they couldn't make a PG-13.
Yeah, there was no Indiana Jones. There was no Temple of Doom. Was it Temple of Doom? Am I right? Yeah, right.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was.
We'd have to go. We'd have to go way back in our episodes to figure out where exactly. I think Goonies and Temple of Doom and stuff came out all at the same time, and it was like
the meme of that little girl.
Exactly.
We're gonna do a deep dive. 54 episodes so far, man. 54 for Nostalgialand. So Kevin gets kidnapped again by the time bandits, and he obviously wanted to stay.
Yep.
But before that, he had taken a bunch of Polaroids with the coolest Polaroid camera I've ever seen. This thing folds up into this neat little like leather-bound case. I was like, I want that.
Yep.
I need that now.
I need it in my life.
I want it. And so he takes all these pictures of ancient Mesopotamia and King Agamemnon.
Yep. And
just life,
Napoleon.
Yeah.
And Robin Hood
around there. Yeah. So he has all these Polaroids.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Like
they
you
get
do.
kidnapped and they fall into.
Well, they steal his
the
crown.
ocean? No.
They steal everything.
Oh yeah, they stole everything. Yes, you're right.
No, they don't fall into the ocean.
They fall into the.
No, they become rich men on the Titanic.
Yes, they fall
They're
into
in
the Titanic.
full tuxedos, ordering caviar, and the one guy that eats everything.
Og
eats everything. He's like, "Can we get 6 more plates of caviar? You guys want anything?"
It is funny how they don't reveal it.
Yeah.
And it's back to Shelley Duvall and the other guy,
Michael Palin on board the Titanic,
and he's trying again to woo her, and he's talking about his problem that he needs fruit
The
for.
wart on his nose.
Yeah, the wart on his nose.
Oh,
Yep,
yes,
yep.
that horror. And she goes, but she says something like, "Oh,
It's
I don't
okay.
mind that.
Everybody has something that they're not proud of."
I have a huge," and then she gets cut off.
Yeah.
And you're like, "What?"
That's right.
What?
You should
And
see
then-
the size of her
Well,
penis.
and when
Story.
and then they fall on him, and his hairpiece falls off, and
Yeah.
she's
Yes.
like, "Ew, no, you're bald."
And he's like, "No, wait, no."
Let's face it, ladies.
Well,
There's
there's a
lines drawn when a man doesn't have hair on. Like
what is it? Rudolph.
Randall.
Is the man? He asks the guy for champagne, and he's like, "And make it with plenty of ice." And the guy walks away, and that's when it reveals the HMS
Yeah.
Titanic.
Yeah,
behind
oh,
them. Yeah, and then it cuts right away to the boat hitting the iceberg, and the boat's bent standing straight up and down, and they're all sliding into the water.
It's like in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just and down. Yeah.
They're
And-
all on the Titanic sign.
Dude, yeah, they're all on Jack and Rose.
They made room
Yes.
for each other.
More Jack,
Yeah.
more Jack than Rose. Nobody's on the board. Everybody's freezing.
You gotta wonder if Nolan saw this and was like, "That's a good idea."
I don't know, maybe. You mean James Cameron?
Sorry, Cameron. Yeah, Cameron. Not
Nolan saw it
Christopher
called
Nolan.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Nolan
You
They're
should
like,
make this movie.
they're like boys.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, paralyzed.
Droz.
Oh,
Draws.
yeah, he's
Draws.
paralyzed.
Sorry.
So he, the evil possesses one of them
Yeah.
and
The one
tells
who
them,
doesn't talk.
Og.
Og.
No.
The one who eats? No, that's...
No.
I'll find
Og's
it. I'll
the one
find
who
it out.
eats.
I'll find it out.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the one that doesn't talk, and they're like, he's had to have an idea for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And his best idea was to create a giant 600-foot red tree that smells terrible.
Yeah.
Or smells like dead bodies or something like that.
That's a good idea.
That was his contribution to creation. So yeah, so he gets possessed by evil. Who
And he
tells
says
him.
that they have to find the time of the.
The legends.
The
The time of legends.
Yeah.
Oh, so Og is the dumb one who doesn't talk. Vermin was the one
Then he eats
who
everything.
eats everything. And he's like, "How do you know you can't eat it
If you haven't
if
eaten
you
it.
hadn't tried it?"
Yeah, so then the only way it appears on the map is if you believe that it's there.
Yes, you have to believe.
And it's like a time hole where you can access anything, go anywhere. is
And then
what
the
they
guy
think.
basically, they start believing it, and he's able to whisk them up in a tornado and bring
Yeah.
them to the time.
It takes
of
them
legend.
down into the whirlpool.
They like reverse him. Did you notice? Like
Yeah.
they go like inverted. So
and then
now
they-
their black tuxedos are white.
Yeah.
And so they go, "Whoop, whoop, whoop, whoop," and they're back in the water.
Yeah, they're in the upside down.
Yes. Oh, that's it. They're in the upside down. You're right. They're with
Yep.
11 and the weird flower face thing. whatever they
Upside.
call it.
And then they're wandering
Not
around.
sunrise.
The right side up.
They're wandering all around in this
What's that?
great salt desert kind of looking deal, and they start to fight because
Wow, it really is like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I thought they're in
It
the
really
ocean.
is like Davy Jones' Locker.
They're in the ocean first.
oh yeah,
and
they
you
are.
meet the beast.
You meet the
troll,
ogre.
the
Ogre,
troll
yes.
guy, the ogre guy.
Yeah, who actually
his-
was in Game of Thrones. He was the Grandmaster old person. In
Oh,
Game of
Grandmaster Pytel?
Yes, that's
That's
him.
funny.
As a
The
younger
one from
dude.
King's Landing?
Yes,
That's funny.
that's
Wow.
him as an older
The
guy.
pervy master.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So he is a ogre. They live on a ship.
He's
You
got a
there.
bad back,
Yes.
Ogre.
and it's Danny's wife.
Yeah,
Rhea
she's the
Perlman.
witch.
Oh yes, that's right.
She's a witch.
Hey, dude.
Yeah,
This movie got a lot of people in this net. Like
sure.
Terry Gilliam just like sent it out and was like, "Whoever comes,
Yeah.
comes."
Please
and
help
Sean
me.
Connery shows up.
seriously.
Speaking of net, that's how they get the.
This
He
is
goes-
the weirdest part.
That's how the ogre gets them all
Oh,
on board.
and
yeah.
the ogre's like getting old and like
Yeah.
can't move because
back hurts.
His back hurts, and he goes to pull the
understand
net
that.
with all the time bandits and Kevin in it. And his wife walks over. She's like, "Let me do that." Whoop!
Yeah, she just flips them right out.
She's so strong. Like, she's terrifying. Yeah. They get on board and she's immediately like, how are we going to eat them?
Put him in the pot. Kill the boy.
Kill the boy.
And they convince the troll that they can help with his back. And
Kevin's
they put him,
like, I know how to help with your back pain.
Yeah, they put him on a torture rack.
No, they all grab a limb.
Yeah.
And they just pull. And he's like,
you can hear the cracking and the creaking and the cracking.
Have you ever done one of those inverted things where you strap your legs in?
It's awesome.
My Lord.
Yeah, it's called the traction table. It's great.
And it's like
the best. Oh, it's the best thing in the world, dude. I can understand back problems.
Dude, I see those chiropractors that do like that ring dinger adjustment. I want to try it.
I don't know, but that looks so dangerous.
Is that the one where they pull your head with a
towel
like
or a black thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a ski handle attached to your
It's a ski rope.
To your throat. That's what they do.
It's not your throat.
They just, yes.
Well, you know when Dad had his neck surgery, what the guy said to him, don't ever let a masseuse, a chiropractor, or anybody touch your neck. One little thing goes wrong and you're paralyzed.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. But I really want to try that.
Yeah, I do. Oh, man. You have those. We have a quick place here in Miami called Snap Crack.
And Pop?
Yeah, Snap Crack Pop.
No, they kicked him out.
Oh, yeah. He fired.
There's a pending investigation. So Snap Crack, you go in, you pay $30, or I think it's $40 now, and they'll just do a quick adjustment. Like all the good, like deep, cracking you up and down. But this guy caught me off guard because usually they do the neck. They do the one like, they kind of turn your head and pop, turn your head and pop. And he goes, okay, deep breath and release. And then he pulled the back of my head like that, but not with the jet ski handle. He just his hands and pulled it, and it went straight from the top of my neck to my ass. I just felt it in my ass.
You take me to the hospital.
And I was just like, he's like, okay, you're all done. And I was like, I need to lay here a minute.
Yep, I can't breathe.
Just need to lay down.
When did my eyes come back?
He got worried. He's like, are you okay? And it's like, yeah, I was way in my ass.
That's like when I was doing
Stop saying in your ass for me, okay?
It was, though. It was. I don't know how else to describe it.
When I was doing athletic training in grad school, we had a.
If you say deep,
it was deep, and it was there. I have no idea how else to put that to you. If you experience it, you will come back to me, Matt. I'm so sorry. I completely understand. That was in my ass.
I believe you 100%. I just want you to stop saying. I want you to stop saying in my ass.
No, I believe you. Oh, God.
That's not the issue.
Yeah, there's a different way to say this.
How? How do I say that?
Your credibility was not the issue.
I could feel the bones cracking all the way down my coccyx.
Tailbone.
Coccyx.
Your grandma was out at the sand dunes this morning. Broke her coccyx. But that's like when I was in athletic training in grad school. We had this girl that was on the cheer and dance team there. Okay. And she suffered from she suffered from what's called subtalar impingement, where like you've had a high ankle sprain.
That's where you know too many tailors.
So but no, not if you're impinged.
Subtalar? So it's not enough tailors.
Who put the quarter in you tonight? You're on it.
You're shaking it up.
So the two bones in your ankle, you have what's called the talus. So when you have a high ankle sprain, it gets like pushed up.
Okay.
So what happened was
into the talisman.
Yeah, when she would try to dorsiflex her ankle, which is like bring it towards her face, it wouldn't move. Like she would have a lot of pain. And I was talking to one of the team physicians, and he's like, "You can adjust that. Like if you just get your thumb there and just kind of put traction on it, eventually it'll pop." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Traction by pull.
Yeah,
you mean just
like
it.
a light. And so he's like, she's like, "You want to try to do it?" I was like, "Okay." Doc told me I just kind of like do this, and then I'm just gonna kind of pull. All right, deep breath, and I did it, and it went, and I was like, "Oh." And she goes, "Why'd you make that face?" I was like,
did that and made that noise, and then her foot fell off.
And I was like, "Move your ankle," and she's like, "Oh, it feels great." And I was like, "Awesome,
great." She got up and it just went like that.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
Yeah, the foot just completely.
As soon as she puts weight on it, just goes thunk right back in there. Yeah. You're like, "Oh, damn it,
Lord!"
Yeah,
I don't know how to close the gap.
No, this became a thing. Like every other month, she'd come and be like, "Can you do the thing again?" And I'm like, "Okay."
I have seen people do that, and then also with knees, and then I saw someone where they pull this.
Yeah, that I don't know.
And it pops the skin off your skull,
No,
and apparently it feels good. I don't believe it.
I'm cool without that.
I feel like that sounds like scalping.
Yeah.
And I don't
I'm gonna take their word on that one.
I'm gonna let that just go. Pat Patterson on the TV now.
You know, the fact that Head and Shoulders doesn't have a body wash called Knees and Toes makes me very depressed.
Very upsetting. Where were we? Bandits.
Okay, so they're on the boat. On the boat. They get pulled on by Rhea Perlman.
Yes.
And they correct the troll's spine and throw him off
throw him in the water.
And
he's like, my spine is this part of the treatment?
I felt so bad for him in a way, actually. I was
he felt amazing.
Yeah, I get that. I was like, final relief.
Yeah.
And then
they
all of a
crawl
sudden,
in the pot.
Yeah, they crawl in the pot and they're like hiding and whatever. And then like all of a sudden some weird like noises start and the one notices that like the front end of the boat's coming up out of the water all weird.
I loved this, dude.
This was the part that I hated the most.
Really?
And they were just on a giant's head.
They're on a
giant fat
Titan.
Dude. Yes.
It's like the Titans of history or whatever.
Who wears the ship
as a hat. Yeah. Which is very confusing.
It's his fashion choice.
I think I didn't like it because this went on for. I felt like it went on for too long.
For him
like
to walk.
That's true.
It's so slow, and I get it because he's supposed to be so large.
Massive.
And then there's like the house with the Muppets in it.
Yeah, the weird.
Then he just steps on it.
Elephant people.
Yeah,
yes.
he like.
Which I think is one of the guys from Life of Brian.
Oh, okay.
Or
that would make
not
sense.
Life of Brian.
Or History of the World.
Life
not
of
History
Pi?
of the World.
You're making that up.
Life of
the
Pi?
other weird one.
That's the one with the
the
Indian
other
kid.
strange
the one
one.
with
The
the
tiger
tiger.
on the boat. It's not from that.
I'd have to. It's the Monty Python. There's Holy Grail,
War
Life
of the
of
Worlds?
Brian, someone else. Anyways,
Could've been.
yeah, I think it's when he goes, I didn't see a fishy woo, or something like a fishy goo, and they're all being strange and weird, and that elephant guy comes through.
I'm gonna have to take your word for that.
You're gonna have to because I'm correct.
Yeah,
Because
I believe you.
Correct.
I couldn't tell you if you weren't.
Yeah,
but
so they stab his head with a bellow.
Yeah, they
Filled with
just
sleepy
jam it in
poison.
this dude's brain.
give him an aneurysm basically.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah. Keep going.
It's sleeping.
You're making it up.
Keep
It's
going.
sleeping potion. That they
Meaning of
put-
Life. It's the Meaning of Life.
Okay.
It's
Meaning
that
of Life.
movie where they have this weird elephant thing that the giant steps on.
So then he just like is like, I'm gonna sit down now. Take my hat off.
Take off the ship hat. I mean, we all got a ship hat.
And
I
then,
want that hat.
So they're all running from the Titan and they run into an invisible wall. Like in a video game when you can't go any farther.
Yeah. Like you've hit the edge of the map.
Yeah.
And then
they're
they start
pissed at Randall.
Yeah, then they start really getting mad at him because they're like, dude, you convinced us all to come out here to steal the map from the Supreme Being to become thieves, and look where you've gotten us. We're in the middle of like a salt desert. There's like this animal carcass thing here, and they take the map from him, and he's like, you give that back, and he picks up a skull. He's gonna throw it at him, and I don't know if he's trying to scare him or what, because he misses like really bad. And it breaks the glass that was the wall that they had run into.
Yeah.
To reveal the powers of eternal darkness.
Which is like made out of black Legos.
paper mache.
It is. There's a lot of callbacks to what the kid looked at on the floor of his bedroom.
Is he dreaming or is he not dreaming?
We're through the looking
It's where,
glass,
you get,
dude.
it's where you get that sound effect in Lego Star Wars where it's like.
Exactly. Oh, that sounded really gross.
But it's a great. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna lose listeners because of that one.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
They're
do that.
gone.
We're gonna
They've
start saying
shut
moist
us off.
constantly
Yeah.
and kill a bunch of
I
people.
didn't do that.
No, you just made some weird
Wasn't
noise.
me. No, but the visual of that was so cool, dude. Like the
Yeah.
way the juxtaposition.
I expected He-Man.
It did kind of look like Grayskull.
Dolph Lundgren just hanging around set all day. Yeah, no, you can go home. Really? But I have the power.
I have the power.
You can go home though, Dolph. It's fine.
You don't come along for another few years.
But yeah, the juxtaposition between like they have the glass of what was the arid desert scene versus now there's this enormous infinite. It was almost like Spaceballs, where like the opening scene in the ship just keeps going by, and it's like 5 minutes
how's my
long.
driving?
Yeah, they keep panning up, and it just keeps going and going and going, and it's in a way like you can tell this was like a miniature model or something like that. But it looked good. It still looked fun. But they get inside. It's Labyrinth. It's Labyrinth, pre-Labyrinth, but it's not David Bowie singing. But Evil's ready for them.
It's an actual labyrinth.
George Harrison also gave him one of the songs for this movie too.
Yeah. So they get through it, and Evil has disguised himself as the game show host, and he has his two henchmen as mom and dad.
Yeah, his shitty parents.
Yeah, his real shit.
Kevin's shitty parents.
They're trying to get him. They lure him in, and he snatches the map and puts him in a cage. And this is where, like, I thought it was really cool. Like, just visually where like the whole movie got really dark really quick. But everything looked good. Like it didn't look over the top. It looked like I said, the production of it was very lived in. But they're in these suspended cages and they start figuring out how to like take from the rope that's holding them above an infinite abyss, and they turn it into little ropes, and they start using their tiny peopleness to then get from one cage to the next. And I don't know why, but I was like, this scene I feel like is the scene where like as a kid I turned the movie on and it was always here, and I was like, I had nightmares.
Oh, no wonder he liked this movie because it was only like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was like the last 20 minutes of this movie. Because the last 20 minutes of the movie, if you're just jumping in, makes no sense, which is my wife's experience because that's when she walked in. Yeah. And she's like, what is this? Like, what are you
Nothing more frustrating to me than somebody walking in the last 20 minutes of a 2-hour movie going, who's that? What's happening? What are they doing? I'm like... I'm an hour and 40 minutes into this.
You know what's more frustrating than that?
What?
Is when you and the person that will remain nameless because I don't want to throw anybody out are watching something brand new. Neither of you have ever seen it.
Who's that?
You know.
Whose name is? Who's that?
No. Yeah.
No.
What's he gonna do? I
don't know. We're watching this together. Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate that.
I'm getting the same amount of information you're getting.
Is he going to die?
At the same time.
I don't know.
He's dead right now.
Yeah. But they find out.
He just doesn't know it yet.
If you didn't know about Bruce Willis, it's not my fault.
The darkness is creeping toward us, whether we know it or not.
That's right.
I thought
we're
they were
all going to die.
Call McCready's. They'll dig the hole and build the box.
Sorry.
You're okay. You're all right.
Go ahead.
You said the trigger word.
No, he did.
And you got to go for the ride.
That happens.
It's a small world. Once you get in the boat, you're in for the whole segment.
Happens.
Okay. I love it. That's why you're here. That's why you're here, Trey. Anyways, so they find out that like, oh shit, like they have a Polaroid of the map. And they could basically read it from the Polaroid and figure out where all these time places are, like these voids. And they found out like, oh, there's one here. Like it's in it. I guess Evil had the map. He would have known that there's one here. It could go anywhere, but at least it's not here. And so they escape and they're able to get through. But they first realize like it's Kevin being the moralist of it, being like, well, we can't let Evil.
Yeah, we can't leave him with the map.
The map. He's gonna. What is he? One of the things he wanted to turn like the sky into an ocean. And rivers into sand or something like that. Just weird.
He just wants to kill people.
Yeah, it's just it. And
he says it in very poetic ways, but he wants to. He's evil. He's pure evil.
Death.
Which is what he is. Yeah. And so they decide, okay,
we're
all going to
become death.
He is the devil, like the fruits of the devil.
But I think one of the great ones is like he turns Evil. Is he's plotting his final thing and he turns to Benson. He's like, I'm gonna have to turn you into a dog now. Yeah. And Benson's like,
thank you, sir.
Yes,
thank you, sir.
Guard the map.
He turns him into a dog to guard the map, and they come and they take it.
He turns him into Nana from Peter Pan.
That's it. Yes. The good old what is that? It's a sheepdog of some kind. Yeah. But it's Kevin who's like, we all split up after he turns Og into a hog. Like he's a half man, half.
Yeah,
he's got a pig head.
Dude, he's got a pig head, and that pig head looked amazing.
Yeah, it's like a pig body, but he's like stand up right, like bipedal.
It looks like all his little goons look like the bad guy from Saw.
Like Jigsaw.
Okay. Yeah, like Jigsaw.
Well, not like Billy the Puppet, but like Jigsaw.
Yeah,
when he appears in the big horse or in the big.
Oh right,
where he wears the big cloak and they have the big warthog head on.
Yes, he sent, and they have like that little hook. Like it's just such a weird detail.
All I heard,
like,
they had like this weird hook penis thing.
Here's your penis hook thing.
All I heard like with them is the music from Saw that. That's all I was thinking.
It was weird how they had like bone scythe penises.
I don't understand.
I think it was so they had something to grab with.
Maybe
they were just really long nails because they do a lot of.
Well, it was just like this one like scythe thing that came out of his wiener.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it was real low. You're right. It was kind of.
Like, why is that guy's wiener out of his cloak?
Like, put it away.
Yeah,
it's
cover up. Why are you wearing this whole cloak but uncovered?
Yeah.
So then
that's a choice.
Kevin,
this is a choice.
Kevin stays with Og to divert the bad guys while they go get help.
Yeah, they don't want the wieners all over the place.
You don't
go through time and find help. Anybody.
Which I thought they were going to bring back Sean Connery. I was like, are we going to get like...
Well, they were, but he was unavailable.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, like literally. He was filming another movie.
He was filming a better movie.
He was filming something else at the time, so they couldn't get him to come back. So that's why it's like another dude that comes back.
Yeah, well, like they all split up and they bring back like a tank, cowboys...
Cowboys,
archers, and knights. Yeah, and
they bring one back from like each.
And then they do what they always do in wrestling, where they attack one at a time.
Rather
makes
than
me so frustrated.
all together.
Well, the best
That's where
is
they
when
start doing like the weird shit.
He gets the map. Kevin gets the map back, and he's like, "Call him off," and he's just like.
Oh, by the way, that's mine.
And he just kills every single the person. Dog. He explodes everybody.
The dog blowing up.
Well, it's actually Winston. So.
I know, but it made me laugh so much, dude. The way they animated or captured this dog exploding.
Yeah, so weird.
Oh god!
And so then you find out that like, oh, this guy's like a final boss. This guy's like, oh,
yeah. The first ones that attack him are the cowboys, and they all lasso him, and they're running around, and then he just starts to spin in place.
And the giant.
Well, and he has this
knife that comes out.
Well,
of
he
his
has like
head.
this weird tower thing that comes out of his brain,
and then a blade shoots out.
And then it like an arm comes out with a knife on it, and then it starts to spin for some reason because that's going to cut the rope. That's spin it.
That's how knives work.
But it spins it and throws all the cowboys like ragdolls all around the world. And I love how like I just miss the days of practical effects.
Yeah,
like I have a great appreciation for what they can do with CG these days as Kong is carrying this woman behind Matt over here, but I miss practical effects. I do. It's just so cool to see like what they could do with what they had back in the day.
And the Wilhelm screams. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But it's like that quick like splice cut, and it's a ragdoll flying through the air.
Exactly.
It's like
Ragdoll physics.
Like it's not a real person because like the elbow's bent like this in a weird way.
Yeah, and it never moves.
Yes, but it's so great.
When I fly through the air, I just go like that.
Like in Saints Row when you commit insurance fraud.
Yes. Yeah, you go like all like limp.
It's like one of those toys when you were little that had the little like clown and you press the button and the clown.
Then you let it go and they're like, huh? Exactly.
That's how I am on wine, honestly. Like these days.
You just go,
and it's like, and then I'm back up. I'm good. Let's keep going.
On Sunny D's, back up.
What is this, Yahtzee? We're good. Let's keep going. No, Sunny D, delicious Sunny D with only 4.5 is just an amazing, wonderful
It's a great
product.
taste. It won't fill you up but never let you down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's snack, crackle, and pop.
What's that from?
I don't know. That's somebody else's slogan though.
Sunny D, drink it, but responsibly.
Won't fill you up and never let you down. Or no, that's Coors Light. Something like that. I don't know.
So
Sounds
anyway,
like Sam Rockwell
this
would be
guy's
saying
just
it.
basically one-man banding this whole thing. They're shooting at him with the
he's
tank.
pure evil.
What about the knights?
They're shooting at him.
He makes them into like a people tree.
Yeah.
Like stabs them with spears and arranges them into a corpse tree.
Yep.
Well, you know, they're gardeners.
Yeah. It's just, I was like, this is PG, dude. And I was like, I turned it off. For my kids, I was like, you can watch something else.
Then there were he was the laser one. He was shooting at him with the laser gun.
Yeah. They all shut up.
And that's where he kills.
They're in the spaceship.
What's his name?
It's where he kills Og.
Finn or is it Og?
No, sorry, not Og. It's
Finn or Flynn?
Kenny Baker.
Yeah.
It's Kenny Baker's character. Oh, sorry, I'll get it. But yeah, he shoots a laser off.
The pillar falls on top of him.
Yeah.
Just crushes
and just flattens him. Just beep,
which I was like,
think of like a sweet toy, like
Fidget. And they're all like, Fidget's dead.
But that guy like gets into it. He's like, he killed Fidget.
That guy's ready to rock.
Dude, Jack Purvis is that Wally.
He's ready to rumble.
With the crazy eyes,
Yeah,
with
he's
the big
ready to
eyes,
rumble.
dude. He's such a great character actor.
And then
love him for that.
The Supreme Being shows up.
And
it goes downhill for evil from there because he basically Ivan oozes that guy.
He just becomes like a big statue.
You're a pillar of evil rock now.
Just immediately shuts it down. He's like, all right, that's enough.
Yep.
Clean this up.
Let's get to the credits. Let's just get to the credits.
Clean this up.
Let's keep going.
And that dude that plays God, the Supreme Being, wore his own suit.
Yeah.
Brought it from home.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just like, whatever, we're good.
He looks like the guy in the Disney, like, there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Yes. And he's super funny how he's just like so nonchalant about like everything.
He's like, okay, clean it up.
Oh, this was like one of his last movies. The actor's name was Ralph Richardson, and he passed in 83. This is 81.
There you go. Yeah,
or 80 at least.
He's old.
So yeah, but like, he comes in and he's just like, evil was my experiment. I was just kind of testing out some stuff. throwing shit at a wall.
And they're like,
See
"Oh,
what sticks.
we're sorry, we stole the map." He's like, "Borrowed the map."
Yep. I let you.
Yeah.
I let you. You think I didn't know?
Yeah. In that British humor of just like, I'm God. Like, what are you talking about? Like, of course I knew.
And the best is when they're like,
Where
"Dude,
you
can we
are.
have our jobs back?" He's like, "Yes, but I'm docking your pay by 17% effective from the beginning of creation."
Time for the beginning of creation and time.
Yeah, and then he keeps saying like, all right, well, back to creation.
Yeah.
Come on.
And like he gives them basically the Rita Repulsa bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mailbox.
Yeah.
It's a mailbox.
And he wants them to put all the evil in the mailbox.
Which
But they miss a piece.
Yeah, it goes under the tank.
And then
right
I was like,
away.
is this Terry Gilliam's punch at the Postal Service?
I don't know what it was.
Like that it's a mailbox.
Yeah.
Why is it not just a
That's
box?
Good band.
I guess, yeah, Postal Service.
Cool box. It's cool band.
Cool
But-
story behind that band too.
They
miss a piece
They
of
miss
evil.
a piece, and Kevin's like, "What about me?" He's like, "Go home."
He's like, bye.
How?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because they say like, "Oh, what about Kevin? Can't he come?" And he's like, "No." Oh.
Yeah.
He's got to keep fighting the fight.
Yeah, so they got the gray smoke coming in front of them, and they're walking into the gray smoke.
Yeah.
And then the yellow kind of weird smoke starts coming from behind Kevin, and he's like, "No, wait, come back! No, wait, come back, wait!" And then he's in bed.
And a fireman
All
comes
a
in
dream.
Yeah.
through the wardrobe.
Yes. And who is it?
It's Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
And his shitty parents are just sitting outside.
Dude, holding a microwave.
Yeah. They're like,
Holding- or
she wants to go
something.
back
And
for
if you were a
more.
real
She wants
man,
to
you
go-
would go in for the blender or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Because like they had like a roast in the microwave that caused the fire that basically like they grabbed appliances instead of getting their son out.
Yeah.
This is how bad
Oh,
they
I'm
are.
sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's one alive upstairs. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
All right. Get the toaster, and we'll come back for that if we
Yeah,
can.
if we got
best,
time.
Best case scenario? Best case scenario. We'll come back. But they do the great. So, like, they open it up, and then it's like, oh, yeah, it's the roast. You must have left it in the microwave.
Yeah, and it's just the black
It's the last
piece of
evil.
And this is the ending that I think, if you did the research, you've seen it, that is like the most debated, like,
This is
ending.
what caused my initial reaction to the movie.
Just like, what?
Yeah.
It's a
he's-
piece of evil.
It's just calling out how like his parents have like no connection to him and like they don't care and like he's just a kid and they know everything, but their whole life revolves around just getting things and stuff.
Yeah.
While he's out there living, they're busy dying.
Yeah.
And he screams, "Don't touch it! It's pure evil. It's
what
evil."
do they do?
And immediately they touch it and they both explode just like evil's minions.
just it. The shit. Yeah.
And then,
then-
roll credits.
That's
Well,
it.
then
No, you get the wink from Sean Connery.
He turns and like Sean like kind of waves at him and
Bye.
then it ends. And it's like, I guess we're supposed to think that like now the weird fireman's gonna take the kid because he was nice to him in the past.
Oh, and he finds
no
the
idea.
Polaroids.
Yeah.
Yeah. He finds the Polaroids
So
in
it's
his
like,
pouch.
Is it
so
real?
was it real? Did he die in the fire? Like what is
He died
happening?
in the fire.
He pulls out the Polaroid. You just hear bam, 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 bam.
But yeah, like, I mean, there's neighbors out in the yard and they just watch two people like spontaneously combust out of nowhere, like into nothing.
what-
I
Not
hope the
guts
fire
and gore.
investigators don't touch that evil.
Yeah, just
Well, it's
gone.
like your reward from the supreme being for helping, you know,
You don't have
the
parents.
Time Bandits is your Batman now.
they had
That's how
insurance.
Batman
policy.
was born.
Batman's name is not Kevin.
That's true.
It's Kevin.
His parents were killed by Joe Chill, or they weren't, or they were,
Or
depending
the,
on what
or
you're
the Joker,
reading.
or,
They could
or
be.
Joe Chill.
Or himself. There is one. There is one
Yes.
comic.
No,
where
his
he-
brother.
Oh, I thought it was that he goes back in time and he realizes that he has to kill his parents in order for him to become Batman.
His parents have to die for him to be.
Yeah, and he realizes he has to do it. Isn't that one of them?
Well, there's one where his brother, he has a long lost estranged brother who kills his parents for their inheritance, and his brother basically becomes like unhinged Batman.
So the movie we're doing is Batman, and we'll do Batman. We're gonna do more
was
Batman.
like
I
our
can do all
first-
the. I can do all the Batman.
All Batman.
Our first episode.
First episode was Batman.
Batman.
Everything was Batman. It was a good Batman. I love that. How many times can we keep saying Batman? So Sean Connery winks.
I've never had a
and
Red Bull, but I really
leaves.
like Red Bull.
What? I've never had a Red
From
Bull.
the Yes fan, where he's like, I
Yes.
had a Red Bull and I've never had Red Bull, but I really like Red Bull.
Sean Connery winks and leaves
Yep.
and takes his
And-
paycheck with him, and that's
right.
how the
Back
movie
out on
ends,
planet Earth
Yep.
and roll credits.
And there's the map.
where we're leaving
I'm
it.
the map.
Yeah.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
I'm the map.
I'm the map.
Giant hen. There's one video where he's like, over the bridge, big chicken, and little house or to grandma's house or something like that. And some YouTuber was like, over the river, big cock, grandma's house. And they were just, well, it's a chicken. It's a chicken. It's not, that's what it's called. Anyways.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
This movie's banana sandwiches.
Yeah, it's a fun time though.
Bandits.
It's available on Max if you got it.
And it's now on Apple TV as a new series.
Oh yes, that I'm gonna have to check out.
I want to go see because it's white. It's YTT and it's him. It's humor. And it's Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords is evil. He plays evil.
Which one is that?
That's
is it the one with the glasses or the one without the glasses?
Glasses, yeah.
Okay.
That's Brit is the one without the glasses.
He's the hippopotamus.
Yes,
rhymes are bottomless.
The rhymes are bottomless. All right.
Anyway, sorry. Thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell on YouTube's. Check out the Tiki Talkie. Yeah, comment on there. Comment on anything that we can see.
Instagram, TikTok, whatever.
It's down here somewhere. Comment
love
section.
it up. Love it up.
The like button looks like this.
Please. We want to just build a community. Cover stuff you want to listen to. Stupid. Check us out on Etsy at Nostalgialand Podcast.
That's our website.
Nostalgialand.shop.
Nostalgialandpodcast.com is our website.
And then Nostalgialand Shop.
Nostalgialand Shop at Etsy. That's
there
right.
You go.
There it is.
I got it once. That's all I need. You guys can help me out from now on. But check us out. We got some great merchandise. Trey's got his. Matt's got his. I've got mine at home. I love it. It's wonderful.
It really does. It holds its heat and it keeps it cool, man. I've been surprised by this.
It's fantastic.
It doesn't. It only holds heat if you want it to hold heat.
If it only holds, it's cold. If you want to hold cold.
If you want to hold it
Sean
cold.
Connery was in this movie.
He was twice. But yeah, we love it. It was great. Thanks, Matt, for the suggestion. It was fun to see it for the first time. I think maybe I saw it when I was a kid, but I don't remember. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. Hopefully, we'll be doing a movie you want to listen to us ramble about next time.
Hopefully, it's a movie you like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you want, like you know what I mean.
Yes,
Shut up,
I'm with you,
jerk.
Hey, let it. I've been thinking about starting some streaming stuff back up if I can figure it out again. So if you want us to play, if you want like the three of us to play like this game,
we could totally do one.
Jesus.
Or like
you want to see us punch each other in the mouth,
or like something else. We could play something else where it's more fun,
like old school Smash Bros. Or
the
Star
game.
Fox.
The game that would make us punch each other in the face is we played Mario Party.
I'm still trying to get. I want you to do the Home Alone game for the Super Nintendo because I know
Matt only wants me to play games where I'm gonna freak out.
Yes, so we can sit there and watch.
Fair enough.
He's gonna be like, this game's fucking impossible.
Kevin,
run.
Fair enough.
Oh God.
Yeah. Until next time.
I'm Matt.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowabunga. These
not
guys.
doing
I'm
that.
not doing that.